Well, good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. Leonard Cohen said, "The blizzard of the world has crossed the threshold, and it has overturned the order of the soul." Yes, we do live in a blizzard. This blizzard swells around us as economic injustice, ecological ruin, physical and spiritual violence. And the inevitable outcome of all of that is war. It swells within us as fear and frenzy, greed and threat, and the indifference to the suffering of others. We all know stories of people who have wandered off into this madness and been separated from their own souls, losing their moral bearings and even their mortal lives. And we too fear. We too become lost in the blizzard of the modern day. And so we become convinced that somehow we have lost touch with that which is our God, that we have lost touch with that which leads us to truth, justice, love, and forgiveness, and that in so doing that there is no hope for the world. But that is not so. We need to give our souls the chance to regain our bearings, to realign ourselves with God's invitation, to come to live a whole life. And when we realize that that is possible, that it's possible to live whole, then we become the healers of the world. We become the healers in our families, healers in our neighborhood, healers in our workplace, healers in political life. And so we are called to live whole. We are called to bring hope into the middle of the storm. We are not called to fuel the storm. For a moment, I want you to imagine yourself in an environment that you hold very dear. Someplace that is beautiful, and I want you to go there in your imagination. Imagine yourself finding a place to sit and just being present to that space. What do you see? What is it about this place that fills your soul? What do you hear? What do you smell? Just reconnect with that place. And notice how you feel. It is in places like this that we truly find our wholeness, because we are within the natural world which is naturally whole, just as God created it to be. Thomas Merton claims that there is in all things a hidden wholeness. But is that really true? Particularly in human beings. A lot of the time we are afraid that who we really are will be exposed, and that who we really are will be unacceptable. And in many ways, when we have this fear, we become separated. We become separated from our inner souls. We become separated from the place where God resides within us. And when we do that, we end up living divided lives, far removed from the truth that we hold within. And in that position, we cannot know the integrity that comes from being what we truly are. We cannot live one way in the world and another in secret. We cannot present one image to the world and another image to God. But sometimes, of course, living a divided life is the easier and safer choice, because we don't have to go through the fire of being who we truly are, of facing up to who we truly are. As we truly are in the world is a fearful thing, because we might be found unacceptable. We might be rejected. Will we fall from our pedestal? Is it not really a fantasy then to grasp and to hold on to with all our might the world's image of our perfection? And yet, knowingly be aware that the image that they may have of us is untrue, or only partially true. That still small voice speaks to us about the truth that we are, about the truth of our work, about the truth of the world. We hear it, but we act as if we do not. We commit ourselves to a project that we do not really believe in, or we are silent on an issue that we really should address. We actively break faith with our own convictions. We give darkness more power over us, and we project that darkness onto other people, creating enemies that do not exist. And for this we pay a very steep price. A very steep price when we live a divided life. We feel fraudulent, and we become anxious about being found out and oppressed by the truth that we deny. And of course the people around us pay a price, for they walk on unstable ground. Unstable because of our divided living. When you look into the natural world, what you see is indeed whole and undivided. The taste of wild berries, the scent of sun-baked pine, the sound of water lapping on the shore. And in that space they help us to see our own hiddenness. And that gives us a new kind of heart, a heart for loving our own imperfections. And of course, wholeness is not about perfection. It's about embracing the brokenness of ourselves and of others as an integral part of life. And knowing this gives us hope for human wholeness, mine, yours, and ours. And so today, I pray that we may all become aware of the places in which we try to hide ourselves, just to be aware of them, and ask ourselves why we do that. May you be blessed today.